Hello, friends. It's Chapo.
Let's move on real quick. As much as I hate, Vance is probably going to win. I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to be on election night yelling, go Tim Ryan, go. But especially because the most annoying thing is then we have to hear from
He's going to be so epic. He's going to be so fucking based. It's going to be amazing. He's going to get to introduce like the pronoun act of 2024.
You're going to have to put trigger warnings on C-SPAN, folks.
Yes. Let's before we leave Ohio, let's talk, because we mentioned it about the one House race we're keying in on. This is J.R. Majewski.
Oh God, J.R. Majewski this
versus Liz Skalka, who is currently the longest serving representative in the House.
So he beat Liz Skalka on the this is one of the great primaries this year where there were several normal defined as like the Republicans who like run things in DC, Republicans. But they had not always praised Donald Trump, and Liz Skalka, the one who the DC wanted, had criticized him after the Access Hollywood tape. You can't do that shit. You cannot have criticized Donald Trump 6 years in the past, and if you can't fix it somehow, you lose. So Jeremy Majewski comes in. Trump name checked him not because of anything he was running on. He's one of these guys who decorated his lawn.
Oh yeah,
he turned
a 19,000 square foot section of his lawn into a banner of Donald Trump.
Yes, and that is how you win.
Yes,
that's so he got famous as the epic guy in his ads.
Epic again as a perfect thing that Felix often describes as like the epic bus stop man or something. This guy literally is epic lawn guy, a guy that we would never have heard of, who's some like conservative
imbecile. That guy, all those guys, that first generation of like those dipshits in like 2014, they had the curse of the innovator. Is like they were too early. They were premature.
Well, this guy
they were prematurely based, because like based stick man would be in Congress if it had happened like in 2020 to 21.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So he's going. Is he going to unseat the longest serving Democratic representative?
Marcy Kaptur. It is looking less likely. Republicans have started to
they're taking
pull some money out of the district.
They're taking money out of there.
And he has not gotten the kind of fame that you need. So some of these guys can just mint money because they go on Fox a bunch of times. And they get famous. There's still a pipeline of candidates who go on Fox and that they win. Like if you go on Fox a lot and the other guy doesn't, you win. But he also has just had faced questions over what he says about what he did.
He is a stolen valor guy.
Yes, he is lying about being an operator.
Yeah.
So
he
can we put the clip in here of him introducing Trump at the rally in Youngstown?
I'll try to find it.
Because it is like. So he gets up there and he goes,
I hope you're just as excited as me to see the greatest president that the country has ever seen, Donald Trump.
Let me tell you, it's the biggest honor of my life to be able to introduce President Donald Trump. And he's like, he hit the word president like a fucking speed bump, and it's just like he had a mini stroke trying to get out president, and it's like, and then he goes, I got ego bumps. Don't got no goosebumps. Got ego. And it's like, these are who is rising to the top of this new structure. Like, this is not Hercules. He's a guy who lied about being an operator. He was like fucking
claimed to be an Air Force combat veteran who deployed to Afghanistan.
He is a Paul Walter Hauser character. He lied about being an operator when he was actually polishing hubcaps in Qatar.
No indication that he ever deployed to Afghanistan.
And then he shows up to the Trump rally 12 beers in. To be like, I love the president. I make out.
Worked for Andrew Johnson.
That's the thing. Is like, you've created conditions where the most low effort piece of shit on earth will rise to the top. Congratulations. The most shameless Yeltsin-esque buffoon will seek power. Wonderful. Enjoy your new aristocracy.
All right. We got to go move on to some of the last ones. We're already at an hour 12, but we're having a good time. We're
cooking.
We'll keep this going.
I was going to say, that dude, he also blocked me on Twitter. Not when I was interacting. I just tweeted a video of his Let's Go Brandon rap, and he blocked me immediately.
I saw
that's right. He's a fucking rapper.
I saw a great... I mean, I enjoyed seeing the meme of him that was like, primary versus general, and primary is him in like his Let's Go Brandon cap and the MAGA jersey rapping in a YouTube video, and then the general is very like a nice fleece being like, hello, I would like to not raise your taxes.
If he wins, and God willing he will, looks like he might, I just can't wait to see him go to Washington and fight the deep state.
Yes.
He's going to be so capable of doing that. When he gets to Washington, oh my God, those deep state boys are going to run.
They want to make us woke and force us to get the vax. Taking pictures with the Pope will get us to all relax. Not to poke fun at dementia, it's a serious disease. But come on, man, squeeze your cheeks when you sneeze.
Georgia. Want to talk about? I just have one hit.
Oh, Georgia, the cosmic joke. What a punchline. The setup in 2020 was so perfect, and now the punchline of 2022.
Okay, I want to talk about Stacey Abrams for 1 second. It looks like she is going to get washed by Brian
again. Loser.
So
after playing the future president in Star Trek Discovery.
Yes. So
she looks like a photo shoot of her in a magazine where she was wearing a cape. Do you remember this?
The cape.
Yes.
Look,
yeah, I've seen the cape.
I don't want to be too mean to her, but I just want to list the books that she has published since losing the first governor's race.
She's on her grind.
Level Up, Rise Above the Hidden Forces, Holding Your Business Back. Our Time Is Now, Power, Purpose, in the Fight for a Fair America. Lead from the Outside, How to Build Your Future and Make Real Change. I would suggest taking some of your own advice and winning some goddamn thing.
Here's the thing. I talked about how Doug Mastriano is the type of scum that rises to the top of the machine that builds Republican candidates. Stacey Abrams is a perfect example of what comes to the top in the machine that makes Democratic candidates, which are people who, as soon as they get a whiff of any kind of notoriety, decide to become fucking celebrities because they are self-interested. Professional entrepreneurs,
and that
is who Democrats are.
The weird kind of liberal celebrity where you'll go to Santa Barbara and there'll be like votive candles of them.
Yes.
Like RGB and Stacey Abrams. Like, dang, they lost real good.
Yes. It's like she was a time server.
Yeah.
She was a state senator. It's like the people at these levels of power are chosen by the seats. They're just cogs. And then it's like, I'm going to run for the governor's race. And she has this competitive primary. I remember they were both named Stacey, and one was white. And there was a question about who Bernie was going to endorse.
Stacey Evans versus Abrams.
Yes, it was like, who's more? It was like there was this thing, who's more progressive? And I think some people said the white one was, and I have no fucking idea.
I believe Bernie endorsed Abrams in the end. Yeah,
but when she got the nomination, she instantly became she became the fucking totem that 150 million psychically enraged and anguished American liberals could vent all of their feelings of terror and anxiety on. Well, you will save us from this.
She is going to lose.
Who could withstand that?
She's going to lose again and continue appearing once every 2 months on Pod Save America to tell the audience just how we win in the next election.
She's going to make all these documentaries just documenting all of the losses of voting rights that have happened since the last documentary she made about how we're going to stop the end of voting rights.
You could add her to the cast of is it Apple Plus or who has the Hillary Chelsea show?
Apple Plus.
Apple Plus.
Yes,
yeah.
She's going to get one of those shows. She's going to do like her own version of like dumpsters, dive-ins, and drives. She's going to go nationwide, having all of the most like empowering meals you can possibly have.
Senate, Raphael Warnock versus Herschel Walker. This is a complete toss-up. I've got polls saying Walker up 2. I've got polls saying Warnock up 2. I've got the Real Clear average has Warnock at plus 0.3. It is basically split. In recent months, or recent weeks, Herschel Walker's main strategy, let's see if it works, has basically been just going on various platforms and saying, hey, I'm too dumb to compete in this election.
You can't actually you can't expect me to be able to say words or understand the meaning of words.
Literally called himself a country boy at one point.
Three quick headlines. Don't need to read the articles, but the headlines. Herschel Walker will debate if he gets the topics in advance. Walker downplays debate with Warnock. Quote, I'm not that smart. Walker criticizes climate law, asks, don't we have enough trees around here? So that's the state of this race.
What's going to be funny to me is that I think he's going to win, and you're going to have both Fetterman and Warnock and Walker winning, proving that polarization between the parties is so strong that they understand at a certain point that you are just an appendage. And it's like, look, you are not that, so we're going to vote for you. Doesn't matter that your brain don't work. Because what independent judgment are you supposed to bring to the job? You don't. You just are a number on a page. You are one of the 53 or 51 or whatever. You press the button they tell you to press.
Dave, any insight on this race?
It's going to go to a runoff, I would expect.
Oh yeah, Georgia still has
runoff. It still has libertarians running and always getting 1.3% of the vote and forcing a runoff. I mean, this is so I think this will be like $100 million race. It finishes up in December because it'll be like they'll both get like 49 point something.
See, that's interesting.
And then fight again.
Honestly, that to me means that the only thing that matters is whether we have an economic collapse before fucking Christmas.
And it also depends if
is the economy fully Brandonized, or is there because like there's been a recovery with gas prices. Gas prices are going down a little bit. Inflation though is still going on. And the Fed is still raising rates. These things are intersecting lines on a graph that leads to an explosion and a collapse. When does that happen? And honestly, since in my mind, there's no way it doesn't happen before 2024, doesn't this sort of render the entire thing moot? Because it means that either Trump or DeSantis, probably Trump, will fucking win in 2024, rendering the rest of this basically time wasting and serving before the big fucking kahuna rises, smashes into us.
I guess it also probably matters what the outcome of the other Senate races are, and to see how competitive they want to make.
Like whether it matters. Like if the Democrats have it regardless, it probably gets like relatively little money and interest. But if it's like it determines a jump ball, then it's going to be a huge deal, just like Georgia was last time. And I think if that happens, Walker wins.
The mood of the state. I think. Well, I don't know how much can change one, but like a lot. You could
even if you don't have.
Honestly,
I don't think inflation's going to reverse by that.
I think enough what could happen between November and that.
I mean, I guess I don't know. Just shorter. I don't know if it may
runoff is a month later. They
if
shortened it after they got owned in 2021.
If they do a debate and Walker literally can't make a point, does that even matter in Georgia?
It matters to I think that would be the difference between him getting 49 and 48% is how much I think it matters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the same thing with Fetterman. Fetterman screws up 8 times in the debate. I don't think there's going to be people running screaming from it. It's amazing when you read just accounting of the first Mondale Reagan debate where Reagan actually is sundowning and losing his point.
Glitches out. It's wild.
And they were panicked enough about losing to Walter Mondale because there were enough people who were like, well, my mind is changed by the objective facts about this person and their competence. That doesn't happen anymore. So I don't think
even that was temporary. He showed up at the next debate and said, I'm not going to let my opponent's youth and inexperience hold it against him. And everyone's like, oh, Grandpa. Let's all collectively forget that you're completely fucking senile.
Why don't I go out on a limb on this one? I say they do a debate. It's decisive enough, and Warnock gets back in. Just because
in December.
In December.
This time.
All right. I guess December.
Although both this and the Fetterman race accentuate how you can be a senator and not have brain function because it happens all the time. There's one right now in California. There's Dianne Feinstein.
Dianne Feinstein totally.
Everyone
gone.
agrees, just not functioning. When she had the most favorable interview with the New York Magazine profile you could get, and even in that pretty flattering interview, I noticed that she was answering questions about current things with really deep recollections of things for 30 years ago.
Oh, that's how it goes.
Yes.
But I mean,
all of a sudden, Corn Pop's sitting next to you while you're talking to Diane Sawyer.
There was a period where Robert Byrd was in the Senate and they took the chairmanship away from him, but let him stay on the committee, and they would give him gigantic font the size of like street rats, just word 59-point font, just saying what he had to say. He was there for a full term. Well, he died midterm. Strom Thurmond, that you can be a zombie senator. So if you're a Republican in Georgia and you think, well, Herschel Walker can't read, maybe he will. There'll be staffers. Don't worry. There'll be guys who went to Hillsdale who work in his office and say, "Oh, vote for this thing," and they'll vote for it. Yeah, that's how it works.
Let's move on. Just 2 more, and then we'll do some final thoughts. Wisconsin. Don't want to spend too much time on the governor because we want to get through other stuff. It looks like Tony Evers is going to edge out.
I think he probably will. I think at this point, even Republicans understand that they're the Democrats in Wisconsin are fingering the dike situation. So I think there is a determination to keep Hindenburg in office for now.
It is the one state where the Democratic the Aaron Sorkin argument that democracy's on the ballot. I feel like Wisconsin
it is
harder.
The Republican Party runs that state. Basically, they drove a fucking tank to the fucking Capitol building.
Evers will call a special session to deal with gun violence.
Let's try not to do that again.